Hey everybody, we're jumping right into PvP commentary on the Week 4 PvP matches. And up first we're against Celeste, which legitimately all season, battling against Celeste is like battling an iron rampart. She's got so many walls and all of her Pokemon are so thick, it's unbelievable. Looking stylish in her trans-colors Pokemon cap. It's very good. And look, it's Echo, the new member of our team. Sorry if that made loud chair noises. I was not comfy, and this is going to take a bit. Look at that beautiful Zen Pokemon man. Look at how that fake out does half of Raichu's health. Mega Medicham is absurd. It does, however, require a certain amount of finesse to use. And that's something that takes some time to learn. There's the anticipated Thunderbolt. This wasn't the worst switch-in necessarily, but that still hurt. Not that Rose is particularly bulky, you know, but at the same time, ouch. And herein lies the problem, right? The problem we face down every week. Starscream is unbelievable. Look at that, we barely did anything. I don't want to stay in on this because Brave Bird's a thing. Sargasso is legitimately great though. Like, Octillery might be slow as molasses, but its special attack hits pretty hard. And its available move pool options are magnifique. Unfortunately, Celeste also has this amazing Florges. It's the perfect, like, duo. Unbelievable physical defense, like really strong special defense. I'm bringing out Rose here thinking to myself, you know, maybe, just maybe. Sorry, I'm real tired, y'all. That I can Venoshock this into the grave, but the problem is I'm not like one hundo on that at all, and I'm reasonably certain that Celeste is going to switch this thing out, because I mean that makes sense, right? And you're not going to stay in on a poison type if you get a fairy type out. So I figured that this is a good opportunity to slow down Skarmory, which not that the thing is particularly fast to begin with, but the para chances do make a difference sometimes. If they can stop Roos, or they can stop you from brave birding something to death, sometimes that can make a difference. Out comes Samsara into those sneaky pebbles, which have been a problem legitimately every week. And the problem is, we just got forcibly swapped out, and what's Fame gonna do to this thing? Like, Fame is an amazing utility Pokemon. Charm is incredible for keeping really strong attackers in place. Thunder Wave is amazing for spreading status. And this thing can hit like a truck, but Skarmory's physical defense is just too damn high for that to be effective. So my only option is to switch into a special attacker. We got the Lucky Para there. But what use is it, right? Out goes the Skarmory, in comes the Florges, and it's a bad, bad time. We're gonna rotate that around. Back out with the good poison typing. Here comes the Wish. The real problem that I have this week, as you can see, is I don't really have a good solution to this. Now, if I had been thinking ahead, I would have learned Poison Jab on Mega Medi, which I'm reasonably certain I had access to this week. Because that can do some real work on Florges. And I think the craziest thing about this match in particular is how not a lot of damage has gone out across either team. But Celeste is at a distinct advantage here because not only is she bulky with a lot of recovery, but she has Stealth Rocks down, so I cannot weather an unlimited Switch Fest, and I have no way to clear it, and I've had no way to clear rocks all series. Like, once they're down, they're a nightmare. That's always the way that it is. I have a lot of things that are weak to rock. I'm just going to hit this thing with Stab Return and see how much damage it can do. And the answer is 0. Because the Protect comes out. Staraptor is absolutely one of my favorite, like, bird Pokemon, favorite flying Pokemon. It doesn't do much to this Skarmory, but I still love it. Ah, the Rocky Helmet damage. Try to hit it neutrally to see how much damage we can do, and it's still almost nothing. And down goes the bird. It took more damage from recoil killing Falconer than it did from, like, either of my attacks. Here's the pivot once more. Stab Mystical Fire. Nothing. I have not been lucky enough to pick up out of my egg box a Life Orb, a Choice Band, or a Choice Specs. So punching some of these holes has been a challenge, for sure. Having a cleric on her side of the board too is a big feather in her cap. The ability to just wish endlessly in this defensive setup because I cannot punch the appropriate holes in her team is just absolutely wrecking me. Every week Celeste does a murder. Like, her team is so strong. Like, when I look at her team, it's like she has a legitimate, like, competitive defensive core, which is unbelievable given our series. And not all of these Pokemon were given in the egg box. Some of them were, like, legit caught in game, like within the Nuzlocke. So, like, the fact that all of these factors have come together to create this is, one, unbelievable, two, amazing, and three, like, she's acquitting herself very, very well in the way she runs her team. Like, week to week, up until this point, 4 weeks in, she hasn't left a whole lot of room. Like, there isn't a lot of margin for us to take advantage of overall. Oh, look at that body slam. So much damage. Snorlax so good. High jump kick did so much damage. Mega Venusaur is so good. I love the design. Even that thick fat though, it ain't gonna save it. I was really jazzed about the idea of running Mega Venusaur this series, but I gotta tell you, like, Rose has been so fantastic. Like, absolutely no regrets in using him this series. It's been really, really good. I love Roserade anyways. I like most poison grass types, to be totally honest with you. That Mach Punch. This Breloom is straight murder. This thing been wrecking us for weeks. Shiitake as a piece on Celeste's team is super vital because she has all these, like, really great walls. I feel like, for the most part, Skarmory and Florges do a lot of the heavy lifting as far as preventing damage and giving her good switch options. Snorlax is also really good at soaking up special hits, but can also hit back reasonably hard. That body slam did a ton of damage. But for everything to work properly, for her to be able to, like, really put the hurting on us week to week, she needs to be able to dish out damage too, and every single week Shiitake serves that purpose. Not only does it hit like a truck, but it's got priority. I still can't get over how much fake out off of Echo hits Pokemon that are not hyper defensive. And we're not going to outlive the priority here. Megamedi is not super bulky. Here I am weighing my options like it's gonna matter. But I think reasonably this is objectively the right call. Come in, get the Intimidate off. I'm gonna hit this thing out of existence. It doesn't have much health left. But that Bullet Seed still does so much. Like that right there is after an Intimidate. If it had hit me 5 times instead of 3, it might have just killed me outright. Neutral hit on a Pokemon with a lot of HP. And y'all, like, I'm recording this on like what is one of the hottest days of the year. If I start like sweating on camera, I'm so sorry. It is unbelievably hot out, and for this to work so you didn't hear just a terrible cacophony the entire time, all the air conditioners are on. So if occasionally I look like I'm gonna like fall over dead, I'm sorry, it's real hot in here. Especially with my laptop cranking right now. I think this is wild. Samsara is faster than Brad. And here's one of the problems, right? Like, I got 3 of Celeste's Pokemon down, but I can't break what's left. I can't do Diddly to this Snorlax, and I can't do Diddly to Skarmory or to Florges. Everything I have left is special, and none of it is going to break this defensive core. And here comes the boosting. I love like going back and recording commentary for these, but it is also much like watching a train wreck sometimes. Like, I know what's coming. I lived through this. Y'all don't, but I do. And coming back to watch it to provide commentary and thoughts is sometimes it's just like, why? Because, oh man, like this is rough to watch. That Snorlax is gonna get so buff. Like, I'm sitting here thinking this as I am playing through this. Like, there's no way I can blow through this wall that's in front of me. So what am I doing? I'm hitting Charge Beam, just trying to boost my special attack enough to put a dent in this. The problem is, Yummy has rest, y'all. Like, it's had rest every week, like every single week. That did a reasonable amount of damage, which is great. But guess what? We ain't gonna live another turn for it to matter, so there we go. With Samsara and Rose, against this iron curtain of a Pokemon. I cannot believe that I got that grass whistle off. It's like legitimately unbelievable. I need health. I got a Giga Drain. Rose did some reasonable damage there too, which is great. Getting some health back. Yumian is asleep. The real question is, when is Yumian going to wake up? And is it running Sleep Talk this week? It's always the question. In hindsight, I probably just should have stayed in, try and get the damage, like, down. Like, I don't think it would have mattered. I don't think I could have OHKO'd on this turn when it woke up and rest. But I had a shot at it, right? Nappy boy will nap. Some of these matches go really long because the defensive core, the stall game is in there for sure. I think we're 22 or so minutes into this match. Here comes the body slam. And now we just got Rose. Rose against the Skarmory and Florges and a Snorlax. And y'all, I know Rose is good. He's not good. He's not that good. Is this the fateful body slam? Oh yeah, it is. Rose is not sturdy. That is game, set, and match against Celeste. And we can move immediately on to the match with Steven. This is the first week that he had 2 mandated shinies, which you probably saw in there. Good bite in his Audino, which makes team building a real nightmare, y'all. I don't envy his position as we go into some of these matches while these wonderful and exotic shiny Pokemon are alive. But I feel much better prepared for this match as a result. The thing about Steven is he's got some really good stuff, and he had some really great tech early, but as the game goes on, and we have more options, I feel fairly regularly that we just stand more of a chance, which I think is really, really good. We have some real answers to the stuff that he has sitting, particularly while he has limited team building options. If we know Goodbye has to come every week, if we know Audino has to come every week, like, that helps us a lot with team building because it has to be on every team in PvP. And to be honest, of all of us, and I think this would have been the first week I would have been able to mention it. I've said it in future weeks. Spoilers, we're a little ahead of the curve over here. But if there is anybody who can build around having 2 shinies on their team, it's Steven. Steven is a really adept team builder and battler. Anybody who's played against him in Draft League can attest to that. He's very, very good. And reasonably speaking, like even with limited options, he's usually able to put together something which is pretty threatening. Yeah, I was going to make a joke about how that Thunder Wave that we got dropped on Sargasso really didn't matter. Because, you know, he's slow as it is, but that full para. And Taquito the Chestnut coming out to play in its fully evolved form. The longest turn in existence. The game tries to catch up with the move. And here comes the shiny pig. And I was already getting the heck out of there. Ooh boy. London is pretty defensive, and while I don't expect physical moves off of this Audino, it is reasonable to expect that it can stand up to a bit of punishment while keeping more vulnerable targets in the back. Really just came in so I could yawn, because yawn is fantastic tech. This is me weighing whether or not Sashimi has Ice Fang. Because if I bring Rose out on Ice Fang, he's gonna die. Like that's no joke. And so we end up going into Mega Medi instead. Falconer is a great check to Chestnut, as is Rose, as a point of note. The ability to intimidate on the way in and then threaten with a quad effective move is fantastic. With Spiky Shield is no bueno. That's not great. Do not like. Here's me weighing if it's worth hitting the aerial ace or hitting return, because I'm holding the silk scarf at the moment. So that's the thing. I also didn't really feel like he was going to leave this in, so I didn't want to use a flying move in case he brought out something that resisted. But look at that damage onto the Nidoqueen. Ah, Falconer's so good. And nothing really wants to take that. Steven knows it too. He leaves Donut in, and Donut goes down. First KO of the match. And out comes Gyarados again. We don't want to stay in on this. Ice Fang is it's a reasonable expectation whenever you're facing down Gyarados in later gens. And our goal needs to be to try and preserve some of these hard hitters if we can. Sargasso, don't give a crap about Ice Fang if it exists. And we don't have to worry about it, evidently. We switch into a Thunder Wave, but guess what? He's already paralyzed, so it's no big deal. No, at this point, Steven has already seen my team face off against Celeste. He's well aware that there's a charge beam on this lad, and I'm like, well, if that's the case, let's use Aura Beam. Let's use something else. I didn't use Surf just in case he stayed in. And I didn't use Charge Beam because I figured he'd switch out. Ah, Optimus, here to drop the rocks. But it doesn't want nothing to do with that Surf from Optimus. Good call on his part, though, throwing the rocks up. As stated previously, rocks hurt a lot of my team pretty bad, and I don't have anything I can do about it, so it's free damage. It's not like in a lot of competitive matches where if you put down hazards, you have to worry about them getting cleared. This is the first time we're going to bring Rose out to deal with Chestnut. And look at that. It pays off. Can't Leech Seed this sweet boy. Like, one of the reasons Steven ends up having a much harder time dealing with Rose than Celeste is Celeste has a Skarmory and it doesn't give a crap about anything that Rose can do. At all, for the most part. That Skarmory is just immune to damage from this Pokemon. It makes it an excellent counter, an excellent switch in. But there isn't... I mean, there was Steel a hot minute ago in that... small baby Bisharp. But that gone now. I don't have to worry about that quite so much. Yeah. I keep sitting here trying to figure out what this Autono is planning to do to me. Whether or not I should switch. You know, Autono is specially bulky, so it makes sense to switch out our special attacker into a physical attacker. London actually still hits really hard, despite being a high defense Pokemon, whose primary utility is in being a wall. We'll take that residual sandstorm damage too. We take our chance to yawn something into nap time. Look at that anticipated switch. He figured I was going to switch out into Octillery, and out comes Taquito ahead of time. The problem with this strategy is it's the same problem I had with Celeste. He doesn't have an answer to two Pokemon on my team who immediately threaten heavily and resist hits from him. So the switching is mostly symbolic, because until these two pieces are off the board, there isn't a whole lot doing. Like, we've already established that Rose is not hardy. Rose took that just fine. Particularly with the Black Sludge helping out. I thought he was going to switch out here, but we still gained a bit of health, and that was fine. The power-up punch coming in. Now this is slightly worrisome. I'm not super worried about Chestnut overall, but if Chestnut gets real buff, well then that's a problem. Like, legitimately a problem. Now we're going to hit with the Venoshock. And it's almost enough. It's almost enough to KO. I remember when this happened and it almost went down, but just kind of quite didn't. I was like, oh man. I don't want to keep taking power-up punches from this thing. We're doing the defense stance, but that little sliver of health is not going to save Taquito from a Venoshock. The most it's doing is running down power points on the move, which is legitimately fine. Like, that is a super valid strategy. The available power points on Venoshock is not super high. But unfortunately, for Steven in this case, Rose is really fast. And did a lot of damage with that Venoshock. And here we go. Ain't nothing want to switch into it. Sashimi was already almost dead. And it's down. And here comes the shiny Gabite. This beautiful little monster. Who is legit fantastic. Garchomp is such a good Pokemon. Like, absurdly good. There's a reason it was banned during its debut. And it was largely because there was no answer to it. There was no clear counter to Garchomp. Just being Garchomp. Now Gabite ain't no chomp. It's a little younger of a baby, but it's still pretty threatening. It's also what I think really sets the Garchomp line. Oh my god, look at that hit. It hit so hard, but it wasn't enough to kill Sargasso. This was that moment was super instrumental in this match. Like, if Sargasso had gone down there, it would not have been good. Goodbye might be no chump, but boosted, it is still a threat, and it is still a problem. What I was saying though about Garchomp, the thing that really sets it apart, which is really cool, is earlier dragons like Salamence, and even Dragonite to a certain extent, like Dragonair can do some work, but it's not super threatening. Any of the pseudo legendaries with like a metamorphosis second stage where it is just not that fantastic at doing much of anything. It's so different. Goodbye is so good in comparison. And all that is left. Is it all that's left? Is the pig? Yeah, all that's left is the pig. Steven was so frustrated this match. He didn't expect me to bring, I think it was Rose. And because I had Rose, I just had really good counters for some of his stuff. Among other things, obviously. But it made a real big difference in being able to threaten Chestnut off the field. We ain't taking any chances over here. The last thing I need is a 6 sweep from a pig. This is the overcautious person in me being like, oh no, there's literally a defensive pig left. I have a whole team of 6. I clearly need to put it to sleep just in case. Because look how thick that pig is. Like, London's attack stat is over 100. And this pig is like, whatevs. It don't matter. I'm over here dozing. I love how happy and dreamlike Gelato looks here while it's napping. The pig is just like, yeah, sleep. That sounds great. Here's the last second protect. Holding on for as long as possible. This pig is so slow at this point. No such luck on the double protect. And that's it. We won our first singles match of the season. In like a complete shutout. It was really nice to see the team work. And that's it. See you next time. Hey y'all, it's Anna from Blasphemy Radio. Thank you so much for watching and joining me on our journey through the Kalos region. If you want to make sure to keep up to date on all the gameplay for Blasphemy Radio Season 8, you can do so here on YouTube, and only on YouTube this season. So make sure you hit that subscribe button, maybe give us a like if you enjoyed the video, and additionally, if you want to make sure you don't miss a single video, you got to hit that bell. That's the way YouTube works. I don't make the rules. From all of us here at Blasphemy Radio, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for loving our show, and we will see you next time. Bye.